In 1878, 1879, Edison's perfecting his incandescent lamp or the light bulb. Now, the investors, the Edison Electric Light Company, they put the money up and they felt they had a product now that they could sell, the light bulb. But Edison knew if people used his light and it flickered, they would say that he produced an inferior product, whereas it's probably the generator or some other component in the electric light system that could be malfunctioning. And so Edison said in order to protect the reputation of his electric light, he would sell it as a complete system.
One of the key things about what Edison does, he's the first inventor to really develop a research laboratory as a way of conducting inventive work. He constructs a two-story, 25 by 100 building made entirely of wood. The upper floor is an electrical and chemical laboratory. The downstairs has experimental spaces, and at the rear is a small machine shop. With the advent of the funding from the Edison Electric Light Company, Edison could suddenly expand his laboratory. And one of the first things he does with that money, he builds a much bigger brick machine shop, because now he's not just making small telegraph instruments and phonograph parts, he's thinking about building generators and other parts of the electrical system, and so he has to have the capacity to do that. And he also is thinking about expanding his staff, and so he has more experimenters, he has more machinists so they can work together, right, to develop various parts of the system.
The system has got a lot of components, and how do you make electricity? Well, you boil water, and from that boiled water you're going to get steam. The steam is going to power the steam engine, and the steam engine is then going to power the dynamo. The dynamo is extremely important because that's the machine that created the electricity. This is an Edison generator or a dynamo. It was made by Thomas Edison's Machine Works, and it was the generator used in his electric light system. This is one of many models. This is one of the smaller models. And from this, you will produce the electricity that will then power the light bulbs.
Within a year, he has a lamp and a generator, he has a conception of the entire system, and he's able to demonstrate it to the public. So Edison wires up the buildings at the laboratory, a couple of the homes. There's a boarding house where some of the employees live right nearby the laboratory. They wire that up. They put street lights up for incandescent lighting, not street lighting. And they first demonstrate, obviously, to the investors, but then they have these public demonstrations over the New Year's. And people come by train. In fact, the railroad has to put on extra trains because people are fascinated by what Edison has done. You can imagine this is winter. There's a little bit of snow on the ground, reflecting these electric lights, this kind of soft light that's coming out of the buildings or from the street lamps, and people are walking up from the train station to this fairyland that's Menlo Park, lit up with incandescent lighting. For a lot of inventors, that would have been the point at which they turned it over to somebody else to figure out what to do with it. But that isn't what Edison did. He realized that that was just the beginning, so he spends another year doing the development work to figure out how to commercialize the system. He builds a small central station at Menlo Park, a demonstration plant. He develops the underground conductors, the meters, safety fuses, right? All the things that we think of as part of the electrical system are developed at Menlo Park.
And that's what people don't understand, that Edison not only created a practical incandescent lamp, he also created the electrical manufacturing industry.